Blade Runner 2049 is a beautiful film. It's a visual masterpiece, with every shot telling us, the audience, something new about the story world. There is, however, one crucial, incredibly important element of the visual design that often gets overlooked: brutalism. We learn a lot about the dystopian version of LA in which Blade Runner 2049 is set just from this one shot of the LAPD headquarters. It's an imposing brutalist building, characterised by straight lines and its colossal size, making use of typical brutalist traits like heavy rugged forms forged of new industrial materials. Although it's not the tallest building, it sticks out from its surroundings. Helipads line the roof, and a lack of windows creates a real sense of functionality over form. Unlike its neighbours, there are no colourful neon signs or advertising boards. It almost seems out of place, inserted arbitrarily into its surroundings. Compare this with some of the other buildings in the city, like the apartment building that Kay lives in. Although they're still tall and brutalist in nature, overshadowing the people below them, they're not monolithic in quite the same way that the LAPD headquarters is. They're more colourful, with plenty of advertisements and branding creating hues of cyan and magenta that colour the scenes that take place within them. There's more aesthetic features too, like windows or balconies. They feel as though they were built for people, not in spite of them. In short, they seem to highlight the headquarters as being a symbol of the authority the LAPD hold over the people of Los Angeles. But what exactly makes a brutalist building feel welcoming or not? I went to the Barbican Centre in London to take a look for myself.
Here on the Barbican estate, the architecture uses lots and lots of man-made forms like straight lines and concrete, and contrasts them beautifully with elements like foliage to create a real balance between the sort of man-made industrial world and the natural world around here.
The estate was designed between 1955 and 1959 by a team consisting of Chamberlain, Powell and Bonn. The residential buildings consist largely of 7-storey tall blocks set up on raised high walks, while still allowing easy access to amenities like parks or parking below.
The use of varied building types throughout the estate avoids creating a sense of dominance in the architecture, instead making it feel very sort of human-centric.
All of the building's levels meet in the Barbican Centre, a multi-purpose arts centre in the middle of the estate. Compared to the housing in Blade Runner 2049, it's very hospitable and welcoming, in spite of its exposed concrete and tiling.
Indeed, the architecture here is impressive and actually quite lovely to walk around, to be honest. Very easy to walk around, lots and lots of verticality, just very pleasant.
These features contrast greatly with those which we see in Kay's apartment, which uses closed-off, cramped corridors and seems to have little in the way of recreational space for its residents to occupy. Kay's flat is stark too, with grey concrete walls and a minimum of luxuries. His building is lit externally with an almost sickly green light. It's clear that, although the Barbican and this apartment building share an architectural style, they were built for two very different clienteles. As Nash notes, the Barbican was intended from the very start to be inhabited by middle-class office workers, most of whom would be working in the nearby financial district of the City of London. Kay's neighbourhood, however, is almost completely different. Many of his neighbours speak foreign languages, implying a large immigrant population. Kay himself isn't particularly high-ranking within the LAPD either. It's obvious that this area is inhabited by a very different social class to the Barbican. Most tellingly of all, many of the adverts we see throughout the world advertise off-world colonies, implying it's only the poorest of humanity that remain on Earth. Indeed, in an interview for Architectural Design, Paul Inglis, the supervising art director, confirms as much, saying, "In the world of 2049, there is no one left on Earth who actually wants to be there. The humans that remain are stuck on a dying planet of aging machines." In the context of Blade Runner 2049's story, it's worth noting that many of the menial jobs formerly held by humans are now occupied by replicants, who effectively function as slaves. The minimal comforts provided to the replicants, and those humans whose jobs are now filled by replicants, is indicative of their place in society, right at the bottom. This is why, despite the similarities in architectural style between the Barbican and Kay's apartment, there is a huge disparity between the two when it comes to the effort made to make each a pleasant place to live. The Barbican was designed with features like the high walks, jackhammer textured concrete, foliage, fountains, etc. Kay's apartment, however, has none of this. So, to summarise, brutalism, especially of the minimalist variety, is used as a way to show the viewing audience how people, or replicants, live in this dystopian version of LA. It's a good visual shorthand for how they're seen, being worthy of only buildings of a simple and aesthetically minimal design.